What's up, like? Ha, it's Monday. It's Monday. I think it's gonna be an easy one. I took one trade today, but um, you know, that's fine. Honestly, uh, we've had this huge uptrend black, and now today turned into a little bit of a down. So I drew that big demand zone up there on the daily. This one, you can see it right here. This one becomes important. So I drew in this one here. I don't know why I drew it there. Oh, I drew on the really, I didn't see an awesome. Yeah, there's the 1 hour zone. I didn't see a fantastic entry. I didn't see anything really good. But if you did get in early today, like you could have gotten a nice up move into that, like just taking it out at the 1 hour supply zone. You notice we're getting lower lows here. And pre-market, I think, was down. Yeah, the pre-market channel was down. Today was a day that it kind of, I was like sort of drawing the reg channels in. It was bouncing decently off the bottom. I don't want to get too cluttered, but yeah. So we had kind of up and sideways a little bit this morning after open. Here's almost a double bottom. This price action doesn't really suggest like that this is a great demand zone, but we do bounce out of there. We finally break above this, make two demand zones. Yeah. I just drew this in, but this really is dog shit. So we make this demand zone, and this is where I got Launen. Is it a green candle right here? Nah, technically, I left it above because I'm like, this isn't the best setup. So like, why don't I wait for a break? So you technically wouldn't have gotten filled on this one, but what is called an L for fairness sake, I guess. Being fair with, I don't know, but that turned out to be a big fakey, and it actually, looking at it now, it actually kind of broke below this. So maybe that's something to be strict, because I just kind of like drew that on there willy-nilly and took this when I saw it. But maybe we should be a little more strict about if it breaks through the zone when you're buying or selling, when you're entering that. And okay, let's do our reasons to buy, reasons not to buy, reasons to buy. Uptrend. Decent demand zone. I think another thing we should take into consideration is that well, we did make a new high. We didn't close above here. Okay. So ready? This is reasons not to take it. Bad price action. What does that mean? We did not close above this high. We tried twice, couldn't do it. So the body's, it's almost like a double top, almost. We couldn't close it there. 2 attempts to close, you couldn't do it. Okay, bad price action because no close. No close higher, which is something I kind of don't pay attention to. I notice because I kind of ignore it because I look for, well, in this case, like it gave me a reason to get in by ignoring that, right? If I had paid attention to that, it would have kept me out. And I think I was also like kind of itching to get in because I could see the uptrend, and I was like, man, we're just gonna have another up day, and I can get in here. No close higher, lots of consolidation. All this wickiness doesn't know where it wants to go. And then also this lower high too. That price action. That's under bad price action kind of, but we'll put that as a name. Lower high. That's kind of it. It's really price action. I mean, that kind of just tells you price action is important. And I was looking at this. It didn't quite tap the bottom of the right channel, but I don't think that matters because it also bounced here without tapping the bottom of the right channel. It actually came down to where that right channel was and then pushed through it, pushed lower before bouncing. And it kind of sucks because that's also like right before, like your stop wouldn't be down here, but if for some reason you got in down here, it would have worked out, obviously, but we just bought in a little too early. And that's another thing that I'm like, I wonder if you could see like liquidity on the heat map or something down there. I didn't draw this in. Yeah, so that's that trade. Not a lot of risk though. That's not too bad. Yeah, I was itching to get in there. Something I was doing too is drawing out the volume profile for individual. I didn't do this as it was happening. But over the weekend, I was kind of drawing out the volume profile for individual entry candles and trying to see if like there's a way to, kind of, is this a good candle? Is this a bad candle? This profile looks different from other profiles. I think like profiles that are good to go long on, even though the candle looks really good. You see how volume's kind of spread out and POC is actually at the bottom of the body. Actually, if POC was down here, it might have been better because that might have suggested even more. That might have suggested a lot of absorption down here, and that's where buyers kicked in. But this is where a lot of stuff happened for some reason. Maybe to drive price up this much and then just take it out. I don't know. So I'm not banking on this yet. But the profile also overlapping lower the value area. The POC is like a decent bit lower. And just again, like a wide value area that kind of, eh. And then you see the next one, POC, way lower. But not in an absorption way, I guess. So that's a little fun time. I'll show you a good one that we had. Friday. Friday was not good. Say Thursday. Okay. Yeah, here. So kind of a story that's going on here. So the profile obviously expands a lot. Value area expands a lot. POC gets pushed up much higher. Here, like you can see value area kind of becomes like a base. And then POC gets higher, and then POC gets pushed even higher. So people are trading higher. Value is being found higher. You see, there's not a lot of empty space above this value area. So I think that kind of is like a decent narrative to support long there. Still look at price action as like numbers, price action, supply and demand. That's still what I'm looking at. I mean, this is just kind of a clear reversal just from the candles, but like you see POC went straight down to here, stopped, and then moves up. It's interesting that it's so low on a candle though. Let's see. There was another one that looked good. Maybe it was it before. Here you can see price closed above the value area, which is also confusing because sometimes it can be like a fake out. But the way that I read this is that price closed above the value area, meaning we're kind of in price discovery. POC was so far down because absorption was happening, and this is also happening right at this POC as well, and then this was the short, came up, opened the POC, no value up there, value area flipped way downwards, POC went down. Then I don't know what this looks like. I mean, you can kind of just do this like over and over again. You can look at every darn candle if you want. Now we're just gonna look at it all. This one didn't work. Let's see if it looks similar to this. Okay, fellas. Look at the price action here. I'm gonna take a screenshot of this for when we go back. So annoying. Not even considering like the macro trend, not even thinking about, just gonna hold on to that for a second. Yeah. What happened here? The value area was still kind of spread out, I guess. POC was down. So again, like, could you read that as absorption? POC was down. Okay. This is another one that you should take a break instead of buying market. Take a break at the candle. You would have been safe. Yeah. So with that candle volume profile, I don't know. So let's look at wait. I just want to try a little bit. Yeah, this is turning into a volume situation. That was kind of like nothing really happened today, so we're not, no value, maybe absorption, but that doesn't seem like a level. That seems kind of random. Like you'd think they would absorb down here, maybe. But yeah, so I honestly don't know about that volume profile read. Okay. Let's look at this. Yeah. So the actual price action is very different, but what did we do? We went up a little more with some wicks, down, up. This is the important part. Sorry. Higher high, kind of wicky. Higher high, still wicky. Didn't close above the wick. lower high, lower high. You seeing this? Then you get a fake candle, and that candle immediately gets reversed. Okay? We're noticing things. We're noticing patterns. This is why you got to look at charts. Okay? And this probably has happened a billion times. So when I see a failure to confidently close above a wick, I'm not counting it as a higher high. When I see that failure followed by a lower high, I am not thinking of getting long at that zone. Okay? All right. Let's see about these candles. So POC on this one was much lower. But POC was at the open of these candles, which is interesting. But I think, yeah, this is just like spread out. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know about that because it's just like, I don't know if you can confidently start using that as a layered on indicator. But the important thing is this price action we know is not good. I just drew this in. I wouldn't really take that huge candle that you would have to enter on. This didn't close above. Didn't come back here until we're already in a downtrend. This, you get this, but I didn't like it because it was kind of red, and this price action looks the same as what we just saw. So look, sometimes this is going to work. This did technically close above this, but this, I don't like this. I don't like this lower high, so I didn't take that with that. Situation with that red candle. But of course, bouncing off that thing, this wasn't the best. Depending how you draw this, I wouldn't call this the best just because of the zone. And again, like failing to close higher. And then what happens? We come right up to that bigger, what was that, 1 hour zone. And we make a lower high, and that's just where we take off. And you just can't really get in. It just doesn't let you in. This is just one of those days where it takes off without you in both directions. So I think, just leave it be. This isn't a great zone, but like kind of technically you could take that candle. It does gap down that little entry, but really, oh dude, I don't love this. Would have worked, obviously, but I don't love that entry. This is like, again, another kind of shaky, weird entry, but this was also for 408, so can't trade that on the prop. But I like this better than this. It's still in a strong down move. Kind of popping into this zone here, but do you really think it's going to reverse at this point? I don't know. Pretty like good candle, quick reversal out of the zone. That one, if you're not trading prop, that one could have worked out for you pretty easy in like literally 1 minute. What else? Now I just want to do this on everything. I just realized I didn't check the volume profile for that. So give me a sec. For the actual day. what happens with this? Moving up. So this is what like you might think of as absorption. See how top heavy this one was, and it just caused this big push down. Yeah, I like you could say it's absorption, but I don't know if you know me and Ed. So this little trick in a video that was very compelling. I don't think it's so like even more of it was up there, took place up there. So just concentrated up there. I'll do 40%. Oh yeah, okay. So this was where we bounced. We tried to catch a bounce from. And there's a perfectly decent reason. Like, I guess it's like kind of a volume gap that you could think of that you're going to bounce out of. But there didn't come down to POC. It almost did. Almost came to POC. But let's hang on. Hang on, boy. Did it look like at the time? It kind of looked like you were bouncing off of value very high, actually. And you still kind of had that volume shelf, but not volume had really been built up here yet. So then why would you come bounce down here? I don't know about that. Yeah. This has been long enough, but yeah, no biggie. We learned something today. Take pictures of your trades. Take pictures. See if you can find patterns where you get faked out. See if you can find patterns when you take a good ass trade. You know, I remember I took this picture of like the dime trade that I really liked, which was, I think, higher high. And then it was this candle right here. I think that's not great, but yeah, I mean, if you get your A plus trade, you know, use it as your model trade. I'd like